Alex Eala just did the unthinkable, and the entire stadium burst into tears. Wait, you think you just clicked on a standard tactical tennis analysis video? You think this is just another highlight clip from the 2026 ASB Classic quarterfinals? Not even close. What just happened in Auckland, New Zealand, only 45 minutes ago, wasn't a forehand winner. It wasn't a break point. It was a moment that struck the 3,000 people inside the ASB tennis arena into deathly silence. And after that, tears. A roar of applause unlike anything in the history of this tournament. We are talking about Alex Eala, 20 years old, who just defeated Magdalena Frech in the most grueling match of her career. What did she do the second she scored the winning point? She ignored the cameras. She ignored her team. She ignored the post-match interview microphone. And she knelt. Not to pray. Not to tie her shoes. She knelt before a 70-year-old cleaning lady who was quietly sweeping the court near the net. You think you heard that wrong? You didn't. And the words Alex whispered to her, a single sentence in Tagalog, have already gone viral, leaving millions of Filipinos and global tennis fans reaching for tissues. This isn't just tennis anymore. This is a lesson in human dignity that professional sports forgot long ago. Before we dive into the heart of this story, if you love moments that go beyond the baseline, stories that touch the soul rather than just the scoreboard, then you need to hit that Pro Tennis 360 subscribe button right now. What happens next in this video will change how you look at tennis forever. Now let me tell you what actually went down on that court today. The match no one thought Alex Eala could win. To understand why this moment was so powerful, we have to rewind. We have to understand the pressure cooker Alex Eala was stepping into. This wasn't just any match. This was the quarterfinals of the 2026 ASB Classic. And standing across the net wasn't just an opponent. It was a wall Alex had never been able to climb. Magdalena Frech. Listen closely. Frech is a seasoned veteran. She had defeated Alex in their previous encounters. She is the stability to Alex's explosiveness. The patience to Alex's risk. The experts? They were whispering that perhaps Alex Eala, no matter how talented, no matter the training at the Rafa Nadal Academy, still wasn't hardened enough to take down the veterans when the pressure hit its peak. The tension in Auckland was palpable. The Filipino community, as always, showed up in massive numbers. We're talking a sea of flags, painted faces, and an atmosphere that felt more like a Manny Pacquiao fight night than a tennis match. The energy was electric, but it was nervous energy. Everyone knew the stakes. Win here? Alex hits the semifinals against Wang Xiyu. Lose? It's another case of so close, yet so far. The match began, and it was a war of attrition. Frech, the fifth seed, came out like a machine. She was steady. She was relentless. She looked ready to give the young Filipina another lesson in pro-level dominance. The wind was swirling, making the conditions brutal. But there was something different about Alex Eala today. There was a fire in her eyes we haven't seen before. Maybe it was the off-season training. Maybe it was the hunger to prove the doubters wrong. From the first serve, she wasn't just playing, she was hunting. When Alex Eala awoke the beast within, the first set was a psychological grind. 2 games all, 3 games all. Every serve was held like it was a matter of life and death. Then the break. Eala's forehand, the lethal weapon she's been sharpening for months, suddenly caught fire. She broke Frech to take a lead. And after that, she never looked back. 6-3, set 1 to Alex Eala. The crowd went wild. But the job wasn't finished. Frech is a warrior. She doesn't go away easily. The second set started, and Alex looked like a hurricane. 4-0. It looked like a total slaughter. But Frech didn't surrender. She clawed her way back, winning 2 straight games to make it 4-2. The tension returned. Was this the collapse? Was this the moment the youngster crumbled under the weight of expectations? Absolutely not. Alex held her nerve. She held serve. And then, at match point, with the wind howling and the entire stadium holding its breath, she hammered a winner that ended it all. 6-3, 6-2. She had done it. She had defeated her nemesis. She was in the semifinals. The stadium exploded. The chant Eala, Eala, Eala rang out. This was a career-defining win, the kind where you expect a player to collapse, scream at the sky, or run to their coach. And for a split second, that's exactly what we thought would happen. She pumped her fist. She gave that $1,000,000 smile. She walked to the net to shake Frech's hand with the grace and sportsmanship she's famous for. But as she turned away from the net, something caught her eye. And this is where a sports highlight turned into a human legend. The cleaner no one noticed, until Alex turned around. Let me pause here, because this is the moment everything changed. Usually, the winner waves to the crowd, signs some giant tennis balls, and does the on-court interview. The camera zooms in, waiting for Alex to take the mic. But Alex stopped. Her eyes left the cheering fans and looked down toward the side of the court near the net post. There, almost invisible to the thousands watching, was an elderly woman. We later learned her name is Lola Maria, a name fans gave her, though her true identity is being protected. She's a 70-year-old cleaner in a humble venue staff uniform. She had hurried onto the court during the changeover to sweep up some fuzz and debris before the post-match ceremony began. In the chaos of the victory, with ball kids running and cameramen jockeying for position, Lola Maria had been bumped. Not intentionally, but carelessly. She stumbled, dropped her broom, and looked terrified, clutching her wrist. Most players, caught in the adrenaline of a massive win, wouldn't have even noticed. They would be blinded by the lights and their own egos. But Alex Eala is not most players. The camera caught the exact second Alex's expression shifted. The joy of victory vanished, replaced by deep concern. She ignored the tournament director walking toward her with a bottle of water. She ignored the TV interviewer holding the microphone. She walked straight to Lola Maria. The stadium began to go quiet. Fans in the front rows stopped cheering, confused. "Where is she going?" they whispered. "Is she hurt?" And this is where things became unbelievable. The moment Alex Eala knelt, and the tennis world stood still. Alex approached the elderly woman who was frantically trying to pick up her broom, looking terrified that she was in the star's way. You could see the fear in her eyes. She thought she was in trouble. She thought she was ruining the moment. Then Alex did the unthinkable. She didn't just help her. She dropped to one knee right there on the hard court of the ASB Classic. Fresh off an exhausting hour-and-a-half battle, the 20-year-old tennis star knelt so she could be at eye level with the 70-year-old cleaner. A hush fell over the stadium. You could hear a pin drop. The image was powerful. The young star athlete in her vibrant tennis gear, kneeling before the humble, white-haired woman in a uniform. It was a portrait of respect that transcended sports. Witnesses say Alex gently reached out and took the woman's trembling hands. She didn't rush. She didn't look at the cameras to make sure they were filming. She was entirely focused on Lola Maria. Alex took her own towel, the clean white player's towel, and used it to gently wipe the dust off the woman's hands. She checked her wrist, massaging it softly. But what happened next melted everyone's hearts. The courtside microphones picked up faint sounds, but for those in the stands, it was the body language that told the story. The elderly woman, realizing who was kneeling before her, began to cry. She tried to pull her hands back, seemingly embarrassed by her status compared to the tennis star. Alex wouldn't let go. She held her hands tighter. She looked her straight in the eye and smiled with a warmth that could melt ice. And then came the sentence that changed everything. The words, psychological decoder moment. A single sentence in Tagalog that broke millions of hearts. According to a photographer just steps away, Alex whispered a single sentence in Tagalog, a phrase that has now gone viral across every social platform in the Philippines and beyond. She said, "Nay, nanay, huwag kayong matakot. Kayo ang tunay na kampiyon dahil sa inyong sipag." Translation: Mother, please don't be afraid. You are the real champion because of your hard work. Let that sink in. In her moment of greatest victory, after defeating a top 50 player, Alex Eala transferred her title of champion to a woman sweeping the floor. The reaction from Lola Maria was instant. She covered her mouth with her other hand, sobbing. Alex stood up, helped the woman to her feet, and then, in a move that defied all protocol, she hugged her. A sincere, honest, tight hug. The crowd, realizing what had just happened, didn't just cheer, they cried. We are talking about grown men in the stands wiping away tears. The Filipino fans, known for their passion, were completely overwhelmed. This was no longer just about tennis. This was about Bayani heroism, about respect for elders, about the Filipino heart. Alex then did something even more surprising. She picked up the broom, handed it to a ball kid to put away, and led Lola Maria to the players' bench. She sat the stunned woman down in her own seat, the seat reserved for the players, and handed her a bottle of water. Only then did she return to the court for her interview. The interview wasn't even about tennis. The interviewer, visibly moved, asked Alex about that moment. Alex simply shrugged and said, "I saw my grandmother in her. We play a game with a ball, but she works hard every day to prepare this stage for us. She deserves the applause more than I do." Simple, humble, powerful. The ripple effect, cultural commentary. A viral moment, from Auckland to the world. Social media exploded instantly. Within minutes, the hashtags #AlexandTheRealChampion, #LolaMaria, and #BayaniEala were trending globally. One fan tweeted, "I've never been so proud to be Filipino. Alex Eala isn't just a tennis player. She's a national treasure. The way she treated that woman. I have no words." Another post read, "We saw great shots in Auckland, but Alex Eala just hit the shot of the century. Straight into our hearts. This is true sportsmanship. True class." Even Magdalena Frech, who had just lost the match, was seen applauding from the tunnel. When asked about it later, Frech said, "Alex is a fierce competitor, but she's an even better human being. That moment was beautiful." This event has completely overshadowed the fact that Alex is now moving into the semifinals to face Wang Xiyu. And let's talk about that for a second. This win against Frech was huge. It proved Eala can handle the wind, the pressure, and the heavy hitters. Before this, there were questions. Could she handle the physicality of the 2026 tour? This match answered with a resounding yes. Her baseline dominance was elite. Her serve stats are up. Her movement is top tier. But honestly, no one is talking about her forehand grip right now. They are talking about her heart. This moment mirrors other legends like Rafa Nadal stopping a match for a lost child or Roger Federer's interactions with ball kids. But this felt different, more personal, more cultural. In a world where athletes are often seen as distant stars, Alex reminded us that kindness costs nothing but means everything. The stakes, what this means for Alex's career. This isn't just tennis, it's a legacy. Now, let's dig deeper into what this means for the rest of Alex's tournament and her career trajectory. While everyone is focused on this beautiful human moment, there is still a tournament to win. The semifinal against Wang Xiyu is no walk in the park. Wang is an Olympic medalist with a ton of big stage experience. She hits flat and hard, and she doesn't rattle easily. On paper, this should be one of the hardest challenges Alex has faced all year. But here's the thing, after what just happened, after the moment with Lola Maria, the entire tennis universe is rallying behind Alex. Neutral fans who had no stake in the race? They are Team Eala now. Media members? They are invested. Everyone wants to see if the girl with the heart of gold can go all the way. Momentum is a real thing in tennis. Alex is riding a wave right now that money can't buy. She isn't just physically prepared. She is emotionally charged. When you play from a place of pure joy and gratitude, when you play for something bigger than yourself, that's when magic happens. Wang Xiyu is a great player, but can she compete with a girl who has an entire nation and half the internet praying for her success? Can she handle the energy of a crowd that sees Alex as a symbol of everything good in sports? We're about to find out. The bigger picture, legacy beyond trophies. 20-year-old Alex Eala just taught the world a lesson many athletes never learn. beyond the immediate tournament, beyond the rankings and prize money. What happened today in Auckland will define Alexandra Eala's career in ways no trophy can. She is only 20, and she already understands something that takes most athletes decades to learn, if they ever do. She understands that legacy isn't built on wins and losses. It's built on the lives you touch and the example you set. Think of the greatest athletes of all time. We remember Muhammad Ali not just for boxing, but for his courage. We remember Billie Jean King for the fight for equality. We remember Arthur Ashe for his grace. Alex Eala, at just 20, is writing her name into that conversation. The kneeling incident, as it's being called, will be replayed for years. It will be in highlight reels, documentaries, and motivational speeches. Teachers will show it to students, parents to children. It is a case study in humility and character. And here's the beautiful part. Alex didn't do it for the cameras or the clout. She did it because it's who she is. It's her upbringing. It's the Filipino culture of manopa, of honoring elders, of seeing dignity in everyone regardless of status. She did it because, in that moment, she saw someone who needed help. Simple as that. Wrap up plus strong CTA. This is why we love sports, and why you need to follow this journey. So there you have it, folks. We will be watching that semifinal against Wang Xiyu with bated breath. We will analyze every point, every game, and every set. We will cheer Alex on as she continues this magical run. But regardless of what happens on the scoreboard, we have witnessed something much more important. We have witnessed the birth of a legend. Not a tennis legend, though that may come, but a human legend. Alex Eala, at age 20, has built a legacy most athletes never achieve in a lifetime. And something tells me she's just getting started. The story is incredible. The player is incredible. The person is incredible. If you want to keep following this unbelievable journey of Alex Eala, from the upcoming semifinals to the Australian Open and beyond, you absolutely cannot afford to miss an update. Hit that Pro Tennis 360 subscribe button right now and turn on notifications. We will cover every match and every moment that makes up the heart of tennis. Now, I want to know what you think. Did this moment bring a tear to your eye? Do you think Alex Eala has what it takes to go all the way and win the ASB Classic? Drop your thoughts, prayers, and messages of support in the comments below. Let's flood the comments with the Philippine flag and blue hearts to show our love for Alex. Until next time, keep your eyes on the ball, but keep your heart in the game. This is Pro Tennis 360 signing off.